during the previous lesson, we have created the contact me page. Okay. So we have our form, we have some information, how to contact us directly, but the form that we have here is not working. So when we click on submit, it shows this page and it is trying to look for a file called submit_form.php, and we don't have this file, right? So we have to come here to our ChatGPT. And when ChatGPT created the structure for this page, at the bottom of it, it wrote down, remember to replace submit_form.php in the form action with the path to the script on your server that will handle from subscript a form submission. If you want to handle the form submission in another way, such as with JavaScript or an API, you can adjust it accordingly. Okay, so we can come here and talk about this. We can tell ChatGPT that, all right, the form is not working and how we should change it based on what we have. So I'm going to come here and write down. I wrote down the style looks good based on our previous task. Then I mentioned, now let's work on the form submission. Now when we click on the form, it shows nothing. How we can make some changes. So when users write a message for us, we receive that message as an email. So let's see the response. All right, the answer is complete. So here, if we read the answer of ChatGPT, it mentioned that we require a server to do this. It wrote a PHP code for us, and it also made some changes in the form, in the HTML code that we had earlier inside this. Where is it? Inside this form. Okay. So based on this answer, we require some server, and right now, because this website is only on our computer, we cannot do that. Okay, but we can keep explaining our situation to ChatGPT and let ChatGPT to offer us better solutions. All right, so for our situation that we don't know how to write codes, I wrote down, right now I don't have any server and I don't know how to set up a server to do this task, right? My website right now is on my local computer only, and later I want to upload it on a host, but I don't know how to set the server to handle the email part. Is it possible to write some JavaScript code that handle sending email, and later when we upload on my website on a host, it starts to work, right? So let's see what ChatGPT will answer. All right, so the answer is complete. And if we come up here, ChatGPT provided some steps how we can accomplish this task. So it mentioned that with just JavaScript we cannot do this, but there are some libraries that can help us, like Email.js, right? And we can use the API of Email.js. It sounds complicated, but actually when we look at the steps, they are simple. So it mentioned to include this code, right, inside our page. So I'm just going to copy it, right? Here's our page. I'm going to come at the bottom of this page and paste this code here. For step 2, it mentioned that we require a user ID, right? So we need to have this code inside our HTML file, but instead of this part, we need to replace it with our user ID. So I'm going to copy this code, come here. So here is the code, but we need to replace this user ID. So we need to go to a website called Email.js, okay? Create a free account. So let's do that. It explained it at the bottom here as well. But let's come here. I haven't done this before, so it is new to me as well. I just came on Google and searched for Email.js, right? And let's click on it and let's see their website and see what they have. So they have a pricing. We can create a free account. Let's look at the pricing. So we can have 2 email templates, 200, I think 200 emails per month. It will be free. 2,000 email per month. It will be $9 and it will keep going. Okay. So let's come here and let's click on create free account. All right, I have created my account. Now let's sign in. Okay, we have to confirm our email. And I just went to my email and there was an email there and I clicked on the link and it confirmed my email. Now we can sign in again. And here we are, okay? So if we go to ChatGPT, we require a user ID. So if we scroll down here, there will be more information. So it wrote down, please note, to use Email.js, you need to create a free account on their website, set up service, okay, where your emails will be sent from. So we have to come here. We should look for a service, right? Add a new service. Here it is, okay? So here we can select some email, okay? And here there is a service ID, there is a name, and here we can click on connect account and it will open Gmail and we can select one of our emails and connect that email to this account, as far as I understood right now. So I clicked on this button here and it jumped on Gmail and I connected one of my emails. And I think I have to click on create service. And as you can see, this is my first time doing this, right? And this is new to me as well. And I'm just following what ChatGPT mentioned, right? So here it explained that after you have created the service, which will be used to format your emails, the service ID and template ID in the JavaScript code will be needed to be replaced with the ones that we have created. So if we come here, probably somewhere inside the codes that ChatGPT wrote for us, we should have, yeah, here it is, service ID and template ID, okay? So this was in step number 3, but still we need to find your user ID. So let's come here and somewhere in our account, okay, we must have our user ID. All right, so here there is an API key, okay, but I cannot find the user ID, right? So I'm gonna come here again and I'm gonna tell ChatGPT that what I accomplished till now, and I couldn't find user ID, but I could find API key and what was it? The public key and private key, okay? So let's come here and explain it. All right, I explained that I created an account on Email.js and then I created the service. I found the service ID and template ID, but I couldn't find user ID. When I looked at my account tab, I just found the API, private, and public key. So let's see what ChatGPT tell us. Right, so here it wrote that you can find the user ID on your account in a tab called integration page, okay? The integration will provide this code to you, okay? But after that it mentioned, however, if it's still not working, you cannot find the user ID, you can use the API, the public key for this process. So instead of writing user ID here, we can write our API public key. So if I come here to my account and I just copy the public key and come to my code and replace it. Okay. And let's come to our ChatGPT and continue with the rest of the steps. So here we need to create a function. All right, let's copy this code and come here at the end of this page and copy and paste it. And we need to replace service ID and template ID with what we will have here. This is our service. So here is the service ID, okay? that we have. I'm going to paste it here, and then we will have template ID. Right here, there is another tab called email template. Okay, let's create an email template here. Okay, and I'm gonna just keep it the same way as it is. Let's save it. Okay, it was successfully saved. And do you see any ID here? All right, so here is the setting, and inside the setting we have template ID. Okay, as I said, this is all new to me as well. So this is my very first time doing this. So I just got the service ID and template ID, and the rest should be fine. And then we need to call this function when we submit this form. So it wrote the HTML code for our form again. I'm just going to copy it, and we have to replace it from this part div, which has a class of contact form, until after the form tag. So let's scroll up here, and here it is. I'm going to replace it here, save it. Let's come to our contact page, refresh it. Okay, let's try it. My name is, for example, Tom. Okay, my email, let's say, is tom@gmail.com. And let's write down, hi, I'm just testing this system. Okay, so let's click on send. And okay, there's nothing happening. All right. After a couple of seconds, I received this email, okay, on my email list. And as you can see, here is the message. Hi, I'm just testing the system, okay. And I'm receiving this email like this, okay, based on the email template that we have created on our email.js website. Okay, so if you want to make some changes in the email that you receive, you have to change the template. Okay, as you saw, it wasn't difficult to complete these steps, and even though that it was my very first time, I was able to create this system, and it is working. And if you want to make it look better, all we need to do is to just come here and work on the template and improve the way it works. Okay, but in general, with this system, we can receive 500 emails per day, which I think for the beginning, it's more than enough, right? So even though that we didn't write a single line of code, only with the help of ChatGPT, we were able to create the contact page and the system, and set up the system to send email, all right? So that was all about this lesson. You learn the structure, you learn how it worked, okay? And you can just keep going and create whatever you want to create, okay? All with just what we have learned and practiced till now. So that was all about this lesson. Again, you can get the source code from the resources of this lesson, okay? And also, if you have any question, you can write it down for me. If not, I will see you on the next lesson.